Next, apprenticeships on the show. It's been the route to a career for many people, and now it's estimated apprenticeships have contributed well over £30 billion to the economy. The news comes as we mark 100 years since apprenticeships first began. Karen Woodward is from the National Apprenticeship Service, and also I'm joined now by Mike Taylor, who's doing an apprenticeship through Hugh Bird College in Bootle. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
First of all, starting with you, Karen, 34 billion quid, that's a lot of money. Where's it coming from? And apprentices, don't they get the pain of kind of doing it? They don't get paid that much, do they?
Well, first, I'll start off with the 34 billion improvement to the economy. It comes from a range of things. Actually, higher wages to apprentices, productivity gains to employers, the tax that is collected from those apprentices and the employers, and last but not least, a reduction in the benefits bill as individuals move out of unemployment into work through an apprenticeship. In terms of the wages, there is a minimum for an apprentice, but we find the vast majority of employers don't pay the minimum. In fact, the average wage was well in excess of £170 a week.
And for me, Karen, I'm laughing to myself because I did a little typo there and I said the word pain instead of paid. For some, it might be going through that pain, but it's a great sacrifice to do, because do you think it's a better route to take to get that career?
I think it's an excellent route to take. Whether it's better, I think, depends on the job and the kind of thing that you want to do. But increasingly, we know that actually 54% of young people, given the chance, would do an apprenticeship. And actually what prevents them is we haven't got enough employers who are offering apprenticeships.
Sure, Karen, I'll come back to you in a sec because we've got Mike on the other line. Good morning, Mike.
Hello.
Because you are a success story. You're training at the moment doing an apprenticeship. What are you doing?
Doing an electrical engineering qualification.
And how's it going? How far into your kind of studies?
I am almost finished. I've just got to sign a few bits of paperwork, do a little key skills test, and then I'm all finished.
So have you been kind of doing days at college and then doing kind of hands-on stuff?
Yeah, I've done 1 day a week at college, and then the rest of the week I've spent my time at Warmer Energy Services. And
tell us, Karen's not listening, do you cope on the money?
I get by on the money, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
And why did you go in to kind of do that? Was it kind of a last resort, or do you think it was the best thing to do for that chosen profession?
Yeah, the apprenticeship was a great choice to come down here to obviously do.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to work my head around what kind of path I wanted to go down to get the qualification, to become a qualified electrician, and finding a placement made it so much easier.
And what happens next then, Mike? How confident are you about getting a job? Or have you got one?
I can't really say about the job at the minute. I'd have to sit down with me bosses and discuss.
Okay, it's a bit like The Apprentice.
It is, yeah.
Okay, it's kind of as in the programme. We'll talk off air, Mike. That sounds optimistic. Going back to you, Karen, then. It's very competitive, isn't it, to get on apprenticeships? What's the kind of process?
Well, it is competitive. We know generally there are about 12 applicants for each apprenticeship vacancy, but certain apprenticeship vacancies, such as in Camel Laird's in Merseyside, some of the big brand names, you could be looking at 3,000 applications for one vacancy. So it's harder to get some apprenticeships than it is to get into Oxford or Cambridge. The easiest way for an individual to get on an apprenticeship is to go onto the apprenticeship website and look at the 25,000 vacancies that are available at any one time for individuals looking to kickstart their career.
Do you think there's certain professions that you just can't do an apprenticeship?
There are certain professions currently that you can't do an apprenticeship, but increasingly that's changing. So government is reviewing with employers the development of new apprenticeships that include the professions. So 2 years ago, you couldn't become a tax consultant unless you'd gone to university and then joined one of the big firms. But PricewaterhouseCoopers now have got their own apprenticeship programme training tax consultants for the future.
I know for the BBC, obviously, I had it on my to-do list for many years, Karen, to be a broadcaster. And in my day, there was no apprenticeship, but there is now. So lots of firms are kind of seeing the kind of benefits of offering apprenticeships. Do you think, for hearing Mike's story, is that something that is kind of joy to your ears?
It's great news, and I hope and wish Mike every success in securing his employment with his current apprentice employer. We know that 85% of individuals who started their apprenticeship actually remain in employment, and 2/3 of them stay with the employer that they started their apprenticeship with. So I hope Mike's in a good position to negotiate a good deal, so I wish him well.
And Mike, I feel like Stella Black here in between. Have you got any advice for Karen? Any kind of feedback on your apprenticeship? How, the highs and the lows maybe?
The highs were I got to learn the job. I got to meet a fantastic group of lads who I was working with. The only downside to apprenticeships is Karen's website.
Oh, hello. Go on, feedback. What's the problem?
I did apply for a lot of vacancies on that website, and they did not get back to me at any one of them.
Karen, do you want to reply?
I mean, I accept Mike's position. We know in the past that the website hasn't been as responsive to individuals, particularly if they've not been successful. But we've learned from that over time, and individuals who apply maybe more than 3 times and aren't successful, we now intervene and offer them some feedback. We've developed a range of resources, particularly for young people, about how to write a good application, and we've done some work with CIPD to promote both to employers and to young people, how do you get the job that you really want.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for that, and thank you, Karen. I'm going to have to let you go because I know you're on to Pastors New. Karen, give us that website address for people that are interested in apprenticeships for the future.
Right, if you're an employer, go on to greatbusiness.gov.uk/apprenticeships and see whether you're eligible for a grant to recruit a new apprentice. And if you're an individual, go on to apprenticeships.gov.uk and look at the apprenticeship vacancy site.
Thank you, Karen. And Mike, good luck for the future. I do hope you get success in the employment world.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, Dole. That is Mike Taylor and Karen Woodward. We'll leave those details with our A-team from midday today regarding apprenticeships. 0151 794 0984.